Hello, welcome to Shed Life. We have a lot of rainy weather and stuff, so I decided not to go up to Cuyuna this weekend, which was my initial plan. And there's a window of opportunity before all that rain comes here for me to get a ride in at Theo, and there's some high school races going on. I went over there and hung out at the Mork booth for a little bit, but I actually decided to bring my Rustler out, and what's cool is I'm riding this and kind of thinking about how riding a full suspension bike is different and what its advantages are and disadvantages are compared to all the hardtails I've been riding. Because if you've been following my channel, I've been riding a lot of hardtails lately, and I haven't been riding my Rustler, which is my only full suspension bike. I do have the new cassette and chain on there, and it works beautifully. So I'm gonna go hit the trails on this bike and just talk about it. Pretty casual, nothing really particular. I do have my new remote. This will be my first time trying it out, so I'm curious how that's gonna work, and so on and so forth. So yeah, let's get to it. Oh. Gotta love the sound effects I make. Alright, so full suspension after riding hardtail a bunch of times recently, so you can kind of get a feel for the difference between riding full suspension and hardtail. A dump loop, pretty rough trail. Well, that thing's getting a little janky. Sweet. It's definitely stuff like that where the full suspension absorbs it all. Where hardtail, you kind of get beat up a little bit. Someday I'll talk about how sag on a hardtail versus full suspension is actually quite different. All right, this rock garden, see if I clear it. Yeah, first try. Nice. So after that, I'd have to say, yeah, full suspension helped, but I also have 2.6 tires on the bike too, so it's kind of two things that I have on my bike that made that climb much easier. Oh, nice. I don't always ride that. That's one of those features where some days I'm in the mood for it, and days that I'm not in the mood for it, I don't ride it. Because I know myself, and I don't want to destroy my derailleur, especially not my SRAM Axis derailleur. So I have two bikes in my stable that I kind of labeled them as keepers, at least keepers for a good number of years till something more magical and better comes out. But that would be this one, this Salsa Rustler, and my Thai Esker Hey Duke. All the other bikes I ride, mountain bikes, let's say, are kind of more on the experimental side of things and not necessarily like my most preferred setup. So that being said, this Rustler here, for the last 2 years, I've got it set up to pretty much my most preferred setup. So it is so comfortable, does exactly what I want it, and so on and so forth. So this is the first time I'm using this GoPro remote. It's pretty cool. It is connected to my GoPro over there, which is the Hero 11. And what's kind of cool is normally I have to push play and then walk over to where I'm sitting now and then ride and just do all that additional footage that I'm never going to use. But instead now all I have to do is push this, and then this is telling me connecting. I heard the GoPro over there, and then it says it's ready, and it's showing me that it's recording. So then I can just get on my bike and go. I mean, super handy for creators if you ask me. And then I just push this button and I heard it turn off and it stops playing, so I don't have to do all this extra footage. So later on in editing it'll be a lot easier to find that clip that I'm trying to get. So pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked on this device. We'll see if I keep using it over time. Awesome. So that gives you a little bit of idea of how YouTubers film these clips. I like to talk about it. I don't know, a lot of YouTubers don't. Sam Pilgrim recently did a video on how they do their videos and what it takes. It's definitely not just getting on your bike and riding your bike. You actually have to stop and set up and go back, and you gotta bring this stuff with you in your pack. You know, the whole process that goes with it. But in the end, it's worth it because it gives much better footage. A lot of times I've had videos where I just do all POV footage like I'm doing right now in the entire video, and people really do like to see those other angles, especially when riding features. So I try to do those when I can to add a little bit of pizzazz. Cool. Yeah. So this is my first ride since I replaced my cassette and chain. So as many know, I have that Shimano setup. So SRAM GX Axis and Shimano XT cassette and chain, and they really work well together. And now that I have a new cassette and chain, it even works better. And I'd say the last few rides with that worn cassette took me a bit to realize that the skipping and slipping that was happening was because the cassette was worn out. Because I was trying to fix it by adjusting my axis shifting, and it wasn't working. Oh, this bike is so well balanced. That's why I don't like super slack head angles. I mean, this has what, around a 66 degree head angle, and then it's got 40 millimeter stem, 35 millimeter rise bars. I want to say they're around 780 width right now. I might start cutting them down a little bit. We'll see. And the reach on this bike, I should mention with all these other numbers, is 420. And I always got to mention my height because people always ask when I throw out all these geometry numbers or fit numbers. I'm 5'7", 30-inch inseam, pretty well proportioned. So since I'm on full suspension, let's do the expert loop here. There's some rough parts of this that Spike can really smooth out. You might not hear as many sound effects out of me as you normally do when I ride this, like this section. Just rub that tree. Yeah, got a little leaning on that one, but I did it. Oh, and if you hear all that cheering, as much as you want to believe that it's for me and my awesome riding, it's actually because there's high school races going on and there's huge crowds cheering for the kids, which is really cool actually. All right, so I did a persistence on this rock garden, the completely different bike, and I'm gonna try it once right now. If I don't make it, which I just messed up right there. Well, that one mistake. Wow, but I got going again. So I only had one dab. Not bad. Sweet. I like this section of trail. This is like really tight. The goal here is to try to go fast, but you don't want to hit a tree. So here, where it's all bumpy like that, so nice on this bike. All right. Oh, I overshot that jump. Nice. I don't think those are meant to be jumps, but I certainly treat them that way. Oh, that was a dead critter. I'm glad I didn't run it over. Don't want any of that caught up in any of my bike parts to clean out later. So why do I ride Theo all the time? It's literally a 15-minute drive from my house. Here's a rock garden up here. Seen me ride it many times. So, as much as I wanted to ride a little longer, it looks like rain is definitely on the way, so I have to hurry up and get to my car. I did it. I beat the rain. It's like pretty evident that it's going to start raining soon. Yeah, I'm back. I really enjoyed my ride, although it was short. I'm liking kind of my new camera setups and stuff like that. Pretty cool. That remote works pretty good too. I like it. And I'm gonna do a future video on my car and the setup and so on and so forth. I know EVs are kind of like pretty controversial topic these days, but we'll let all that drama aside. I'm just going to talk about it and how it works for me, just because it's pretty awesome and it's super fun to drive. It's like super fast, and I like fun things, and that car is definitely fun. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe.